welcome everybody to another episode of Unquestionably Raw. Tonight we are previewing the defending NBA champions, the Cleveland Cavaliers. With us tonight is two of our biggest Cavalier supporters. We've got Brendon, aka Shoe Collector, and we've also got Michael, aka Big Stowe. With us, of course, is Gonzo, as always, and we've got Matt and myself. So, fellas, we're going to jump right into the first question. So, Brendon, I'm going to go to you first. Let's talk about the Cavs, their depth chart. Basically a little bit of changes, not much to the team, but let's talk about some of those key changes. How do you see guys like Mike Dunleavy fitting on the team and just kind of what his role is going to be, and some of the other guys that are in camp that are vying for the now vacant backup point guard spot that was vacated by Mo Williams?
Well, from what I've heard, as far as the Mo Williams situation goes, I hear they like Kay Felder and they're going to play him. I really hope they go after, someone like a Kirk Heinrich or a Norris Cole, some of those kind of veteran point guards who are out there. Two of them, Chalmers and Cole, have played with LeBron. So that's a big thing. And Cole obviously played at, I think it was Cleveland State. So he's played in that building during his college career. So that would be a good pickup, in my opinion. The people I think, will probably affect the team the most off the bench are going to be Dunleavy, ability to space the floor. He's one of those players that LeBron has tried to get for a couple years now. So I think he's probably going to figure a way to, keep him at the 3 and maybe play LeBron at the 4 and just keep that floor spaced out. And then I think an underrated acquisition is going to be Birdman. He played really well the year he was there. I think it was the year or two that he was there with LeBron in Miami. And, you don't need him to do anything else other than protect the paint, get a few dunks off of pick and rolls, and rebound. That's it. So, and that's something that we need. We had Mozgov, but he was hurt the whole year and we weren't able to use him the way we wanted to. So I think he's going to fill that defensive void pretty well.
Okay. Stowe, what are your thoughts?
I pretty much agree with everything that was said. I honestly believe that scooping up Birdman is huge. He's pretty much filling the spot that Mozgov did, and Mozgov last season was pretty much buried under the depth chart. So having Anderson, who played with, like they were saying, played with LeBron before, good defensive presence. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little worried given what everybody else did in the offseason, at least in the West, in comparison to what the Cavs have done, because it seems like we pretty much lost a decent amount. I think losing Delly is going to prove more hurtful than people seem to realize. He's our energy guy. Kind of like how Verja was the years before that, and I feel like not having an energy guy who can lock down on defense and stuff like that. People sleep on the defense that Delly played on Steph the last 2 years. Obviously not like marquee like a Kawhi, but more so than people give him credit for. And I think we're definitely going to miss that this year. But I don't know. I'm sure we'll talk, whether or not we'll repeat this year or not. But I'm not going to lie. I'm a little worried about my Cavs this year.
Okay. Gonzo, what you got, man?
First, I probably wouldn't be worried too much about Delly because I heard there's 2 point guards out there. Actually, I heard it's Norris Cole and I think Chalmers. Mm-hmm. Me personally, if I was the Cavs, I would get Chalmers because I think he's a better defender, and he'll help mold Kay Felder, as a backup point guard. But they lose Mozgov and they get the Birdman, and he's a good rim protector. And the best thing about it, he has chemistry with the leader, and he has chemistry with James Jones. So that kind of works in their favor as well. Makes things a lot easier, makes the transition a lot easier with a new center. But the way I see the Cavs structure is like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But you can always upgrade. So they got Mike Dunleavy, an extra 3-point shooter. I'm praying that they get J.R. Smith back, so they have two knockdown shooters. I mean, yeah, like I said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I mean, you can upgrade it. They just put turbo on it with Mike Dunleavy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Matt.
Yeah, I think picking up Dunleavy was big. I mean, he's the kind of guy you can put him in any system in the league, and he'll fit right in, especially being a Duke guy. He knows how to play. He'll pick all the concepts up in the sets really quickly. He'll be fine. You just hope that he stays healthy with I think it's the back, because he did miss a lot of games in Chicago last year. So I think that's the thing with him. But they also have Richard Jefferson. We saw what he did. I like what Brendon said about picking up Norris Cole. I mean, played with Miami, won championships with LeBron James. So I think that would be big. And it will be interesting to see what Kay Felder does. And as far as J.R. Smith, he'll resign. He's just and they were talking about it on NBA radio. All the money is gone, so it's just a matter of just probably a few $1 million here or there. I think he'll be back. Birdman, absolutely big pickup. He doesn't have to come in and play huge minutes. Tristan Thompson will do that. And like if they don't like Kay Felder and they don't sign a point guard, I think you could run kind of like what Oklahoma City did. Either Westbrook or KD was in at all times. You could have Kyrie or LeBron in there at all times, so one of them can be the primary ball handler in that second unit. You could do that, but do you want to restrict minutes a little bit? I don't know. But I think they'll be fine. I mean, if we look at all these championship teams, most teams they make tweaks. They don't have – I mean, we know what Golden State did and San Antonio and Utah's improved out west, but championship teams don't really make a lot of huge moves. Those Bulls teams and the 6 Bulls teams didn't make huge moves each year. They just tweaked a little bit here and there, and that's all you have to do. And they've got the best player in the world.
Obviously, Dunleavy is their prize because he can able to knock down threes. Locker room presence, veteran guy there. The key is going to be with that point guard after about 20 games. What are they going to see out of Kay Felder? Obviously, he can score, but he's not going to be needed to score as much as he did in college, obviously. What I would actually look for is a guy we haven't talked about very much, Jordan McRae off the bench. He could slide over and actually play the point guard in spot minutes as well. He's a sleeper that I really like that was in Delaware with the Sixers D-League team, got called up to Phoenix, and then ended up in Cleveland and actually played decently well in both Phoenix and Cleveland. Can score, can run a team. If they needed to do spot minutes and Chalmers is not ready due to his injury last year, and they decide not to go with Norris Cole, he could be an option there. And, of course, you've got LeBron and Kyrie, like you said, Matt, could be on the floor at all times to supplement any kind of holes that they have. Mm-hmm. What I would look for up front is Channing Frye. Is he going to have another productive season, being able to slide over, play some center, stretch 4, of course, provide that shooting that he did last season. That's going to be key, as well as Kevin Love coming in with a good mindset to be able to be that third option again this year. Accept that role. You won a championship. You know what it feels like. You want to do that again. So that's kind of the keys there as far as the roster goes. Any of the guys that are the kind of camp guys like Damian Liggins or DeAndre Liggins and Markel Brown, Eric Moreland, stuff like that. Those guys probably won't make the roster. I could see Markel Brown possibly making it as an athletic 2-guard. Dante Jones is there just as a veteran throughout camp. He probably, unless they really get desperate for locker room voices, he won't make the team. But going into our second question, Matt kind of touched on it a little bit, but I want to hear from everybody else. What do you guys make of the J.R. Smith situation? LeBron wants him back. Is he going to sign back? It's $28 million to the cap if he signs back for over, I believe it was over a $10 million a year contract. What do you think, Brendon?
I just think it needs to be done. I mean, you can't tell me the guy didn't earn it last year. It's kind of funny how it worked out, with the way the salary cap changed and everything with the new CBA. year we lost against Golden State, Shumpert played really well in the playoffs. He played great defense on Curry, and he actually shot the ball pretty well. So he got his 4 years, $40 million pay cut. Now this year comes back around, and we're trying to, keep JR at a discount. And he's like, "Look, I put in work last year. I played, both ways," which he did. He was, aside from LeBron, he was probably our best two-way player that was on the floor, which you never thought you'd ever say with, J.R. Smith. So, he's earned his money. I think we need to just pay him. We're already in the luxury tax, so it's not like this team is hurting for money and revenue. You've got two of the biggest stars in the NBA. I think we just need to go full-on Yankees and just pay him.
Okay. What do you think, Stowe?
I pretty much co-sign everything that was said. I'm honestly surprised that it's been drawn out this long. JR has played both sides of the ball. He was a decent defender and definitely knocked down shots when we needed it. I don't really see why we haven't scooped him back up yet. He definitely deserves it. It's that simple.
Because Gilbert's greedy, that's why he doesn't want to. He wants to try and keep as much money as possible.
Right.
But with the way everything's changing on a year-to-year basis now, and you sign LeBron long-term, so you don't have to worry about that. I mean, semi-long-term, but you don't have to worry about him on a year-to-year basis anymore. So now it's like, okay, we can actually crunch some numbers, give JR a $2 or $3 million deal, which is what he's looking for, and don't be greedy. He was a big part of our success last year. Some things you just have to bite the bullet on if you want to keep the band together. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
Gonzo, what's your thoughts?
I think J.R. Smith deserves every damn that he wants. Let me tell you something. J.R. Smith, and I never thought I'd say it, he's always been a streaky shooter, but he's a good shooter. And he's kind of clutch. But his defense is underestimated. He played excellent D in the finals, and he showed that he earned his paycheck. And he's a big piece to the Cleveland Cavaliers puzzle. Pay the man. If LeBron says pay him, pay him. Look, they got a ring. There's no more proof that he needs to. There's no more proof he has to show that he deserves his money than that ring. He's brought it to Cleveland. So
yeah,
it's literally that simple.
Yes. Absolutely it is. Yeah, absolutely. Just pay him. Get it over with. Go out there, defend your championship. No need to drag it out. I mean, everybody knows he's coming back. I mean, like I said earlier, where's he going to go? Who else can pay him? All the money's gone. There's nowhere else he's going to go.
That's a good segue, though, because actually –
I was going to say one more thing.
Yeah.
Cleveland is the perfect spot for him. He cannot get into trouble there. There's no nightlife there. He's in the perfect spot, and he has LeBron James as a teammate.
yeah, absolutely.
LeBron keeps him at bay and in check.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is there's a hole in our offense if he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
The thing about it is basically $15 million is what's kind of standing in the way right now. It's basically, JR versus, Dan Gilbert, the luxury tax versus, do I want to pay more luxury tax? They're not going to get out of the luxury tax. So, they need to pay them. Now, one wrinkle for this situation, and it's very, very slim to happen, but it's thrown out there, by a couple beat writers. Of course, it's Minnesota's beat writers. But the Timberwolves have about $22.5 million in cap space that they can fit J.R. Smith into. Basically, it comes down to, do you want to stick it to the Cavs or do you want to win another title, suck it up, win that ring, and, move on from there if you need to. That's what it comes down to. I ultimately think he's going to end up with the Cavs. It's just like, any other big name holdout. They agree and, you don't hear about it when he's knocking down clutch threes, in the NBA Finals.
Right.
So that segues us into the next question that I have. Is it championship or bust for Cleveland this year? Brendon.
I mean, anytime you have LeBron on your team is championship or bust. Let's just be real. I was going to try and say, well, if we have the same team back, if JR comes back and we have the same team plus the additions, simple as that.
Okay. So, championship or bust?
Honestly, it's a two-sided question because LeBron has proven everything that he's needed to. He proved that he could get a ring in general. He proved that he could get a ring in Cleveland. While I do believe the general public and the media will be like, oh, championship or bust, like LeBron did what he had to. In that same breath, I want to see them repeat. I believe that they will make it to the finals at the very least. I'm interested to see what happens when they meet the Warriors in the finals, but that's for another conversation.
But as a fellow Cleveland fan, and let me ask you this, because I think this is really what the question boils down to. Because, like I said, any team with LeBron on it, it's championship or bust, because that's his goal.
Right.
At the end of the season, if we don't win, if we get to the finals and we don't win, the question then becomes, do you feel like the season was a waste or not?
A waste?
And my answer is yes.
I mean, honestly, I don't believe that it is because it comes down to, on the one end, that's what people were saying when we lost the first time. They were like, oh, I can't even believe this. We got this super team together, and we somehow couldn't pull it together. But then we came back the next year, and we did just that. I do believe that expectations are high. My expectations are high. I don't believe that there's much competition in the East. So if we don't at least make it to the finals, I do believe that it's an absolute bust. But if we don't win, honestly, I can live with it, but, like, obviously, I'm gunning for it.
All right.
Okay. Gonzo, championship or bust?
I kind of feel like these two fellas here, man. Like, me personally, I don't know if I can even say bust. Look, first of all, look at this here. Me personally, I used to be a LeBron James hater, right? Until I just realized when I saw the light, right? That this guy is the best player on the planet. And everybody talks about clutch jump shooting, and everybody says Kyrie had such a great finals. LeBron James himself, he hit a lot of clutch shots in that game 7. He played clutch defense in the game 7. He played clutch defense and scoring in the game 5 and the game 6. The man was averaging almost a triple-double in the finals, right? So I had to get rid of all that. The man got rid of a drought that lasted like 50 plus years. So to say bust, I don't think we could ever say bust again because I think he's done what he was brought to the Cleveland Cavaliers to end a drought for all their major sports teams, and he accomplished his goal. A lot of people didn't even think he would win 1. He has 3. I think he has four MVPs. Not to mention he's one of the best defenders in the league. And the second best player in the world isn't even halfway close to what LeBron is.
God damn, I love this new Gonzo.
So and it's just the truth, man. I'm the type of person. First, you make judgments off emotions, but you just have to be honest, man. When a player is the best, and when you're just watching the game, and this person does every single thing you need them to do in the court, passing, rebounding, scoring, playing, sticking guards on defense, will jump out and stick a big man on defense if he has to, and then he goes out and wins the championship for a team that hasn't won in 50 years. If he never makes another championship again, it's never a bust to me. It can never be a bust because he's done what he's accomplished.
Bingo.
That's it. It can never be a bust. And then you got to also look at this too. It's 30-some teams and 30 teams in the NBA, right?
Yes.
After Cleveland wins or whatever team wins the championship, every other team has an opportunity to upgrade their roster to get a chance for a championship. So to say they make it to the championship and they would lose to Golden State is like, you can't say that's a bust because every team is upgrading their teams to beat that champion who just won. So I can't say bust. I can never say bust with him now. He's accomplished his goal. And I can make no more hate about LeBron James. Top 5 greatest player of all time.
Number 1 greatest player of all time. Sorry, my bad. I'm sorry, my sinuses are acting up. I don't know what
All
that
right,
was.
Matt. So let me rephrase. Is it a disappointment if the Cavaliers don't win the championship?
I'm going to tackle this question from this standpoint. If you talk to everybody in that locker room, it's absolutely championship or bust.
Yep, exactly.
You talk to fans, it'll be kind of like Stowe and Brent. Well, as long as they get to the finals, not a bust because the East is weak. But let's all be honest. The favorite in Vegas is the Golden State Warriors. So they are the favorites. I mean, hell, I think they'll win the championship this year, but that's for another argument. That's for another argument. Yeah, that's for another argument. Now, I don't think they will have the best record in the league, though, the Warriors. But that's for another day. But yeah, I think for the team, it's championship or bust. I think fans will probably be split 50-50. Some will say, yeah, if they don't win it this year, it's a bust. As long as they get to the finals and it's a successful season.
Okay. I mean, I'm going right behind everybody else. I mean, they have to make the finals. I mean, it's going to be hard. I mean, Golden State's going to have the expectations on them, but so is Cleveland. That's who everybody wants in the finals, and everybody who is predicting them both to be in the finals. The only way I would say a so-called bust is somehow by a miracle of God or the NBA gods coming in, a team like Toronto taking out Cleveland somehow, some way. Then I would say a bust, but it ain't going to happen. But that's the only way I would say bust. But they're going to make the finals. They have a very good chance to win. So do the Warriors. We don't know anything until we get playoff time. So we can throw all the predictions that we want.
Yeah.
Bet all the money we want, but we don't know because everybody had Golden State knocking them out last year, and look what happened. So.
Yep.
Yeah, look what.
Oh, go ahead, Stowe.
Nothing. I was just talking my shit.
What I think, maybe to kind of shed some light on why I think it would be a bust if they don't win, is because now that he's got the championship for Cleveland, yes, he did what he said he was going to do. But knowing the way LeBron works and knowing Kyrie's mindset and how done he is, that's not enough. And what LeBron's been talking about, within the media the last couple of days is, chasing the ghost and whatever. And, whatever your opinions are about if LeBron could one day be the best player of all time or not, that's aside. If he doesn't win more championships, it's a bust to me because then that conversation is never even possible. If he does not win a couple more, it's just like now where you can't really even have that conversation. Yes, he's a great player. At highest, you'll put him at 2. But if he gets to 5 or 6, yes, he's lost 4 times in the finals, but those are completely different situations. And he would have gotten to the finals way more times than Michael ever did. So that conversation actually becomes possible. But he has to win more championships for that to happen. So for me, if they get to the finals and just lose, it's like he's still shooting for something. So to me, that is a bust because he still has a goal.
Right. Can I make one final point?
Yeah, go ahead.
Word. I honestly believe, and I don't want people to take the fact that I'm like, well, if they don't make it to the finals, it's okay. If they don't win the finals, that it's okay. I don't believe that at all. I do believe that LeBron still has something to prove in terms of the Warrior, the series, because 2 years ago the Cavs were hurt. Last year, some say that the Warriors were hurt or whatever. Let's get one more finals to really settle who the best team actually is. And I feel like again, LeBron and the Cavs are the underdogs yet again. Like the Warriors team is definitely stacked. They definitely have hella talent, and there's definitely no denying that. And it's going to be a challenging series, I believe. But I do think we still have something to prove, assuming that the Warriors make it back to the finals. And I think that's important.
Okay. The next question we have is, Brendon, I'm going to you. Give me 3 keys that you think may make or could break the Cavs season this year.
Well, it's really only one: health, health, and health. Want me to throw another one in there, I will say, well, we kind of touched on a little bit earlier, Kevin Love accepting his role and embracing his role. I think those two things, if we stay healthy and just kind of coast through the season, I don't think we'll have the best record in the league. We may not have the best record in the East because, there's always a team that can jump out and, like the Hawks did a couple years ago and just have a good regular season. I don't think anybody has a chance at beating us in the playoffs, but I just don't think that that's that high up on their priority list. Staying healthy, keeping the team cohesive and together, and operating at a high function is really what they're worried about. And then if Kevin Love just accepts his role and embraces it, I don't think there's anything that can really stop us. So health and then Kevin Love, embracing his role is really the only things I think we need.
Okay. Stowe, what are some keys for you?
Honestly, I think going in, one of the biggest keys is Kevin Love. I think while he's kind of gotten lost in the offense the last couple of years, I think if Tyronn Lue and the coaching staff and whatnot have made the proper adjustments and we can implement him into the offense to be a more formidable weapon, I think that would be huge for us, especially going up against a Kevin Durant. Like when we talk about the Cavs Warriors matchup, some people aren't even considering the fact that Kevin Love is a part of the matchup. Like that's how bad it is. Like, and Kevin Love is a super talented player. And I believe if he I don't know, I've heard mixed things I've heard that he was hurt last year. I've heard chemistry issues last year. I've heard everything out the wazoo about why he's not exactly fitting into the offense. But if he fits into the offense, I honestly believe that we become almost equal to the Warriors because of just being able to have that star power. Second key, I honestly think would just be keeping up our defense. The Warriors are going to have a high octane offense, and that's how they've been for a really long time, and that's not going to change. What did I say? I could have sworn. I think I saw a video. I think it was either today or yesterday of like Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant just draining threes for like a minute straight or something like that, not missing a single shot. So if we aren't able to lock that down, like that's problematic. And then last, I think Kyrie Irving is our last key. Watching some of the interviews that I've seen him in and stuff like that, I'm low-key, just a little bit, only a little bit worried that the championship could go to his head and might not entirely derail how he plays, but just kind of be a distraction, I guess. But again, he's played in so many just high-pressure situations, and he's always, not always, but he a lot of times comes out on top. And I think just seeing how this championship affected him and how it matures his gameplay, I think is really important.
Okay. Gonzo, what are some keys for you?
Health, number one, obviously. Number two, the signing of a veteran point guard to help bring along the Felder. And the most important, I think, make or break key of their season could be the signing of J.R. Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
What about you, Matt?
One, obviously health. I think two is not to get too complacent during the year, because they're going to coast at times. We know that. And we don't want them to get caught up like what happened to the Lakers in that 10-11 year when they coasted and when it came time to turn it on, they couldn't do it. So you don't want that to happen. I think that's what they've got to avoid. I don't think there's really a third one, maybe Kevin Love. But I think, winning cures all. He's got a championship. I think he'll be fine.
Okay. For me, it's going to be bench production. Want to make sure that, they do get a veteran if Kay Felder stumbles. For the backup point guard position, I want to make sure that Channing Frye is playing well. And then what are you going to get out of Dunleavy? Yes, he had back surgery last year. He was out for a good portion of the year. Is he going to be healthy enough to contribute, majority of the year? If he's not, is Richard Jefferson able to step up? Is James Jones able to play a stretch four role where you can move Channing Frye? to the center spot on nights that Chris Anderson's, out. All those things are question marks off the bench for me. The second key that I have is going to be Tyronn Lue. Is he going to be able to be that consistent voice that's going to be able to reach the team and bring that team together in the waning moments of the playoffs? If they're down a couple of buckets, of course they're going to go to LeBron or Kyrie. Is he able to command a voice in the locker room and inspire that team? David Blatt surely couldn't. And Tyronn Lue showed a good presence so far, but I don't want to see the team wear thin or Tyronn Lue wear thin on the team or vice versa. And then the last key is just going to be, like everybody said, Kevin Love and just that acceptance of the third role, maybe even fourth if J.R. Smith's hot, if they re-sign him. I mean, he could end up being the fourth option because there are nights where Kevin Love can disappear, and look like a marginal role player. So definitely want to see him consistently play at the level that he can. He doesn't have to be that number one scorer, 27 and 14, but, at least get, 16, 17, 18 points and double-digit rebounds a night, and then that's more than they need, and they'll be okay. And so that takes us into our last question of the night before we wrap it up. I don't know how valid this question is going to be because it's the defending champs, but we can go either way with it. Brendon, I'm going to start with you. Give me a bold prediction that you have for Cleveland this year.
Well, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but if you consider this a bold prediction, beating the Warriors in the finals, but that seems a little simple. But so I'm going to go with, I think this year will be the biggest, what we noticed the most, LeBron taking a step back. I think Kyrie could lead the team in scoring this year, and I think LeBron could be close to 9 or 10 assists this year. I think he's going to really, because he saw what the Warriors have put together, I think he's really going to just kind of coast through the regular season, he'll still get, 23, 24, 7 and 7. But I think those assists will jump up quite a bit, preserve himself for that finals and playoff run. And I think Kyrie will lead the team in scoring.
Okay. So, what's a bold prediction for you?
My bold prediction, I do believe the Cavs are going to repeat. But honestly, I think my bold prediction, I don't think that Kevin Love is going to come back. And I honestly believe that there's a chance that he could be traded this year. That's my bold.
Nice.
That's a bold prediction.
Yeah.
Gonzo, bold prediction.
My bold prediction, they repeat again.
Okay.
All right.
What you got, Matt?
I am going to go a different direction. It's not bad. I'm going to say they end up not picking up a backup point guard, and Kay Felder, second team all rookie.
Wow.
That means he's potentially getting a good burst of minutes there.
Yeah, I think he'll get, a good solid 17, 18 minutes a game, and I think he'll make the most of it.
He's going to
I
pull
think
up.
that's a solid prediction.
He can play.
Yeah, he definitely can. I didn't see the Summer League as much as I think you guys did because I watched some of you guys' shows and stuff like that. But he can ball. He definitely has potential.
Mm-hmm.
He's a lights-out scorer. He's small, but he can score.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we need.
Running the team.
Yeah. That's why I think he'll be good for them off the bench because they don't really have that guy who just gets buckets off that bench.
Right. At all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would say for me, I don't really know how bold of a prediction is, but I've got LeBron MVP.
That's pretty bold.
Yeah, I think he just does so much for that team. Pretty much like Brendon said, I think he takes on more of a facilitator role, so his points per game drops a little bit. And basically he wills that team. And we go off the regular season. It doesn't matter what, if they don't don't win the championship, it's not going to affect the regular season MVP. But I think he will overtake, Steph Curry for the MVP, because you got to think Curry has got Kevin Durant. He's got to share the ball.
Yeah,
with.
he's not winning. Nobody on that Golden State team is winning the MVP. They're going to punish that team just like they punished Miami that first year the Big Three got together. They're not going to vote. They're going to be penalized for that.
Exactly. So look around the league, who is really going to be
Westbrook, or it's either Westbrook or LeBron.
And see,
I'm going with my man Westbrook.
See, Westbrook, I would actually, depending on how he plays now, you could have OKC, top tier in the West for all we know. But what I saw, when Durant was out 2 seasons ago, basically, him running rampant, jacking up retarded shots at the end of the shot clock, and just abysmal ability to run a team as far as being a heady point guard.
It's now though.
For me, it's not enough. So I'd have to give the edge to LeBron, because he's not gonna do anything crazy. He's gonna will that team and do whatever he can to get them back to the finals.
Just as long as he plays enough. Hopefully he plays enough games, because he may. I mean, you don't want. What if he plays 65 games just because they don't really need to play him that much? They give him a few nights off here and there. I think that would be the only thing that would derail him.
Right.
You can still get it.
I'm very different from you guys. I actually think LeBron's MVP days are behind him.
Oh.
Not because
that's kind of how I feel.
Numbers, because his numbers are so consistent, it's ridiculous. I think because his numbers are so consistent, nobody looks at him anymore, and I don't think we're gonna have the best record in the league. Like I said, we may not even have the best record in the East, depending on if a team, comes out of nowhere. I think it's definitely going to be, without a doubt, this year, it's going to be Russell Westbrook.
Okay. I think it just the only thing with the is they got to get 50 wins. You got to win 50 games to be the MVP.
Hey, and you guys hear me say it on Unquestionably Raw. The Thunder will not even make the playoffs. Watch
Now, guys, going for Thunder
he just
break it down for everybody.
Oh, it's his gold. There. All right. The hating Gonzo is back.
No, I'm not hating. It's just the truth. I seen what we've all seen what Russell Westbrook does without Kevin Durant. Durant got injured early on that season. Russell Westbrook is not a team player. That's what drove KD out of there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have one. We got Alex Campbell in the chat. He made a bold prediction. He says the Cavs will lose in the playoffs against the Pacers in 6 games.
Is that a joke?
Games.
Is that a
I had to say it, Alex.
Hey, we do have it on video and audio evidence, though. So if it does happen, we got to give kudos to Alex, but because Indiana is the best matchup against the Cavs. I think we can all agree with that. As far as a formidable team to match up toe-to-toe with the Cavs.
Point guard?
Going to take them.
I still think Detroit's going to be their toughest matchup.
Wait, point guard? Who's Indiana's point guard?
Jeff Teague.
Yeah, he's not matching up with Kyrie Irving. Are you kidding me? Nah.
No, he's saying overall as a team.
Yeah, just as a team.
I guess.
I still think Detroit's the best matchup, toughest matchup for them.
I like that. That makes
Detroit
sense.
in the East. Detroit gave them the most prop. They swept them, but every game was close.
With Scrappy,
whatever. We didn't break a sweat at Detroit,
and that's another team that won't even make the playoffs. Watch.
Oh, come on.
Sheesh.
Gonzo. He's back.
Look, like if you really think that Boban Marjanovic dude is a big upgrade for Detroit, wow, that's really going to help. That's going to keep him. That's going to keep him from winning.
Who are your 8 in the East then?
Who's my 8? I have Orlando.
I like Orlando.
What?
Yeah, Orlando has a good
Orlando,
team.
I think, is going to get in. I still have Detroit. I have Detroit in the top 4.
Detroit hasn't made. They made Boban Marjanovic. That's their upgrade in the offseason. Yeah, right. What he's going to do? He's going to stop them from losing by 40. They're going to lose by 20 now.
The thing with Detroit, they have a lot of those guys were young, so they can keep getting better. I don't think they had to make massive upgrades.
I don't either.
They didn't have to make a lot of upgrades. They have a great starting lineup.
That Stan Van Gundy train is over.
Pre-show. Gonzo said the Celtics got worse, and that they're going to finish.
No. I didn't say they got worse. I just said they didn't make a big enough improvement to say, oh, they're going to jump from the 4 seed to the 2 seed. Like, really?
I actually agree with that. I think they'll be better in the playoffs, though. Al Horford's not going to give them a lot more wins.
Hey, Matt, look, if they play Atlanta in the first round like they did last year, watch Atlanta beat the shit out of them again this year.
Hey, Pete, because of what Gonzo just said, when you post this on iTunes, we got to put the explicit warning. We have to put that explicit thing up there now.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's all right, Gonzo.
That's okay. That's what it's up there for. But on that note, we're going to wrap up the Cavaliers season preview. So, Brendon, I want to give you a chance to let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Xbox Live, PSN, all at Shoe Collector 9. I'll be doing some streaming throughout the year. I may put out a few 2K mixes, but that's really it. I'm saving up for a wedding, planning a wedding, so I don't have too much extra time right now.
Well, congratulations on that, man.
Seriously.
Thank you. That might have been a little too TMI for this, but oh well.
No, it's all good, man. So Stowe, let the people know where they can find you.
Yo, it's your man Stowe. Big Stowe on Twitter, BIGSTO. You can also find me on Dead End Hip Hop. Sometimes writing reviews and whatnot. Also, peep my music, stowthelast.bandcamp.com. Me and Q about to start doing some radio stuff here soon, and hope you guys tune in with us.
Outstanding.
Absolutely. Gonzo, where can the people find you?
On Twitter at DJ Gonzo Star.
Awesome. Matt.
I don't think I need to. Oh, I was going to say it's on my thing, but then for the people listening on iTunes, at Meek Mill 1981.
Awesome. And everybody can find me at Pete Toll, PETETOAL on Twitter. Want everybody to go to iTunes, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on Twitter whenever you see our posts. It's the Unquestionably Raw podcast. And you can go to YouTube. You can view the videos. You can comment. Also on iTunes, please go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. As well, give us a comment or two. Let us know what you think. Constructive criticism, good criticism, we take it all. And just want to let everybody know what we have upcoming tomorrow night, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. We've got the Charlotte Hornets season preview, followed by the New York Knicks season preview at 6:15, and that's Eastern time. So everybody tune in, and until next time.